back in the workshop. I've had this piece of cedar lurking for quite a while and never quite got around to doing it with it. So I'm going to turn this, I think, to be a wall hanging plaque in a sort of shield design. So I've got the huge great Axminster jaws on the Clubman chuck, but first I'm going to mount a faceplate. That'll be the inside. I've got to use some fairly shallow screws because it's not that thick, but the wood is very lightweight, and then turn a tenon on the other side, a mortice on the other side, and then figure out how to get it on the lathe with the head turn. I don't know. So I found the centre.
So with the faceplate screwed on, just now bring the headstock right down to the end of the lathe bed, put the dropped bed on it and the banjo extension arm, and mount it up on the end to turn off the end of the lathe bed.
Right. Well, tighten up the Allen keys, come back in a minute.
So I'm just doing some of the initial shaping on the back, wanting to make sure that I leave the little pieces of bark intact. So it's being a push cut rather than a pull cut, so I don't pull them off the edges. I'll then mark the size of the mortice, which is going to be used to grip for finishing the outside. The mortice will be used to hang it on the wall, so it's got to be flat. So then just a little bit of finessing with the skewer as a scraper, just to help define the edges a bit more. And then a sand up with the drill and the Simon Hope pad system. And then time to get the Sorby texturing wheel out and produce some pretty patterns on the bottom. When the texturing was done, I sealed all the surface with some cellulose sanding sealer spray. So time for some gold copper fill. So I sort of rubbed it on in layers. I've got a couple of different colours and pulled the centre out so it was slightly more coppery, and the outside so it's slightly more goldy. Let it go off so that it's fully dry, and then some acrylic gloss lacquer over the whole lot just to seal it up. I think I did 3 coats of that just to give it a nice good seal, as it's going to be against the wall. You don't want any of the wax rubbing off. There's a nice close-up of the texturing, which I think was quite successful. So with that finished and dry, I then took it off and reversed it into the expansion mode on the big jaws, so that we're ready to take the faceplate off and turn out the other side, which will be facing the room. A bit of truing up first before redefining the shape so that it's got like a central boss to it, which will be textured and coloured. With some of the shaping done with the bowl gouge, I've gone to the 3/8 spindle gouge just to sort of define that central shape. Unfortunately, I forgot to press record for quite a lot of the last stage, so you just have to imagine the process of refining the shape and then using the texturing wheel to create some more patterns and textures, which I then coloured using Inca Gold colours, and also some more of the gold embellishing wax. It was quite fiddly getting this so that it fitted just nicely into the textures and the details without making it into a whole muddy mess. But I used a paintbrush for quite a bit of it and thinned down the Inca Gold. The back didn't need any further work because the mortice was such a great fit with the jaws. It just came off without any marks, which was the plan. So there it is. It now graces somebody's wall in their study.